This is O-Talk, a podcast covering the Ontario Hockey League. From people within the game. Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of O-Talk podcast. We have a very special guest with us this week. One of my 23 favorite players in the league. I think it's 23 because there's, the guy's on 67. So, but we got Vinny Rohrer with us this week. Vinny, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Brought you on because, obviously, team's number one in the OHL right now, locked up that number one spot. We're a week away from playoffs, so we'll start with just how you guys are feeling headed into last 3 games of the season.
I mean, obviously it's the last 3 regular season games, but we try to play them as every other game too. Even though we clinched the league already, it's still for us how we especially talked today and in the morning. We talked about how important it is to mentally still be engaged on those last 3 games and just play your best hockey. That's probably our goal.
Have you been surprised at all? Because last year, the team was hard pressed to find goals. I believe you were the leading goal scorer on the team, and this year it's been, an entirely different thing. So are you surprised at how quickly things have gotten this good here?
Uh Probably in some way, yes. I mean, I think no one really thought that we were gonna have this season. Let's say at the beginning of the season, no one thought we were gonna have this season, probably. But on the other hand, it also makes sense in some way, how we practice and how much attention to detail we pay. I think in some way it makes sense.
For you, I mean, you're kind of scoring like you're currently 1 point shy of what you had last year, but the goals haven't been the same. And I think a lot of that is because you don't have to be that guy anymore. With Luka coming up and scoring a lot of goals, and Beck has been phenomenal since he's come back, and then Logan Morrison and Pavel Michikov come in midway through the season. So how have you kind of evaluated your own play so far this year?
Uh, that's a good question. I mean, it's obviously always a little bit up and downs. You always every game you're a little happier than with the other. Um, I think especially this season, I mean, I really focused on the details. And I mean, everybody just says details and details, and you gotta look at the details, but like just all those little things that I think would really help me in the next level too. And maybe there is a little bit, how you said, there is a little bit of you maybe don't have to be that guy anymore too much. But on the other hand, you always want to be that guy. So there's for sure more possible in that way, especially offensively. But yeah, we still have the playoffs now, so hopefully it's clicking then.
I think for some context too, it's important to, go over kind of your ups and downs this year. You got hit in the face with a slap shot in training camp, and you had a bubble on the entire first half of the season. You take that off, you go to the World Juniors, and you're playing on a team that is struggling to win games. I know you're proud of what you guys were able to accomplish over 3 years there, but then you come back and you take that hit, and what followed was not pretty. So. It's almost been a contrast to last year where it seems everything went perfectly for you and not so much for the team. This year it's kind of been the reverse. So how have you dealt with that?
Uh, I think it's always. I mean, don't want to get too spiritual here, but I mean everything you do is like basically a lesson. And especially this, like the things that you mentioned now, the 2 injuries. I mean, were the first 2 injuries that I ever had in my life regarding to hockey. So in some way, it's an experience, and also how you come back after something like that and how you deal with it throughout the whole time. So I think that's a big learning process I made this year. And yeah, I mean, I guess how I dealt with it, I guess you just got to deal with it. You just got to make the best out of it. And that's what I always try to do.
So that's the first two times you've ever been hurt playing hockey.
Yeah.
And the first time you ever get hurt, like I remember I saw you afterwards and it's like, oh my God, like you looked like you had got run over by a stampede of elephants. Uh, what was like you must have, FaceTimes family members or whatever. Like what was their reaction when they saw you all? Because your face it was a slap shot, like you got hit.
Um, I mean, what was my reaction back then? Uh, I mean, in the end, I thought it's nothing. I mean, obviously it hurt and it looked brutal, but I I hope that it's nothing serious, like nothing like I don't know, like in the end it was three broken bones. That's what I not wanted it to be. I just want it to be like it looks bad and it's just a bruise and like it yeah, you just look bad, but on the other hand, you can also look at it that it's like on a positive side that I didn't have to get surgery. Eventually we talked about like when it happened on the first day when I came out, it happened that or they said it's probably gonna be 3 months. Because I probably have to get surgery. And then I was playing, I think, after 4.5 weeks or 5 weeks back already. So in that regard, I was also in some way lucky.
Jordan, you got any more hockey specific stuff here?
Yes, for sure. So, Vinny, we talked to Owen Beck earlier in the season, and I asked him about the draft interviews that he had last year and some of the out of the box questions he was getting from various NHL clubs. Did you receive any yourself? And we know Montreal does have a bit of a habit of asking those interesting questions.
Uh I mean, I think that one is pretty popular already, like the animal question, how you would describe yourself. Uh I don't think like nothing not specifically question wise. I would maybe more say like how you approach something, like how your mood is if you ask something. Like sometimes they just look into the laptop and they don't even look at you and ask the question. So it's kind of more on the rougher side. And then you give an answer and they don't even like respond with yes or okay or whatever. They just want to make you feel uncomfortable, probably. Um, but I think there was nothing to. There was a questionnaire of a team where there were like questions in it, like are you a fast eater or a slow eater, and you got to grade it from 1 to 5, or are you a fast walker or a slow walker, or uh if you would go out to party, would you rather go into a club or with your best friends? And just like questions you don't really think are really that important. So yeah.
Yeah, and now jumping into international play here, you obviously played for Austria at the World Juniors last year, and the country is having to play in D1 to get back to that main group. How do you expect it to differ, and are you excited for that opportunity to really help push your home nation back to get to that top level at the U20?
Um, I mean, I don't. It depends. I mean, it depends where I'm playing next year too.
Yeah.
If I even go back to playing again. Especially if it's in the B division, that's something I am gonna look forward when it happens. But I mean, obviously that's always the goal. It's I twice now had the good opportunity to play in the A group, so you always want the other guys that come after you also to have that opportunity.
And just lastly, in terms of your game personally, you were touted last year as being one of the draft's most physical players. A lot of scouts described you as violent and more importantly, being able to gain inside positioning on defenders and then immediately make that next play. What improvements have you been working on to take that next level in both ends of the ice this year?
Um, I mean, it's kind of going into that direction what I said before to Frankie. I mean, trying to look at the details. If you, I don't know, if you maybe look at I don't know what my face-off percentage is, but I'm just hoping that it's better than last year. But I think especially in the last 10, 15 games, it have been really good. That, for example, or just like especially now I played the whole season. I played centerman and didn't play winger anymore. Like last season, I played half of the time winger just to also defensively figure out who's your guy and just like be more aware where to position yourself. And all those little things like leadership qualities, and it's I think it's nothing really big where I would say I don't know, I focused on skating or I focused on my shot is better or something like that. I think it's more of the little things like I mentioned before with dealing with injuries and all those little things.
You mentioned the face-offs in particular too. I think it was training camp. You and Cam Tolne were going back and forth with face-offs. He's kind of known as one of the better face-off takers in the league. So have you learned anything from him? Maybe.
Yes and no. He is like he's our key guy for face-offs right now. Um, he takes them, I think, pretty different than I do. So it's tough to take something from that, but he for sure showed me like with timing and just like in general, maybe also get into the other guy's head if it's a good like if it's an important face off. So yeah, in some way, it's also with him, like credits to him to give me those tips.
Away from the rink, I want to. I've talked to you a lot about this before, but I want to touch on it because for people that don't know, you're not just good at hockey, right? Like you are. Everybody says you're the team's best golfer. Uh, you won tennis tournaments as a kid, um, so like you just kind of pick things up and you seem to be good at them. That being said, you're learning French. How's that coming?
Uh it's tough. I don't really have a comparable where I would say, all right, that is good or this is bad. Like I don't really have a measurement. But apparently what my French teacher is saying it has been really good. But yeah, I don't know. I like to pick out things like for instance French or golf or and just really, really focus on them. And I think now in the 2 weeks off that I had with French because you guys here in Canada have some break. I don't know what the break is called.
March
But
break.
March break.
Yeah.
And yeah, now it's kind of on me learning French, and yeah, I try to learn it every day. So I think it's making pretty good progress too.
Was that a thing you decided to do because you got drafted by Montreal, or was that a were you going to do it anyway?
Probably 50-50 a little bit. For sure also because I got drafted from Montreal. It was like it would be nice if I would be in the locker room or talking with media or like just in general living there.
Yeah.
It would obviously help. But on the other hand, it's something for me. I like to do things like that. I also thought about learning Spanish additionally now, even though I would maybe just use it in my summer holidays. But I don't know. I like to do things on my own outside of hockey with different activities like that.
So you know English, obviously. You're a native German speaker, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is it French the only other language you know, or do you know more than that?
I mean, I learned 2 years of Spanish already in school. Um, Now it's French. But besides that, there's no. There are obviously always a couple other languages like Italian where you can maybe say, "Hey, how you doing?" or something like that. But really, really fluent, it's probably just German and English so far.
Did you make use of your French in the Gatineau series? Maybe talk a little smack.
No. I mean, I'm also not really making use of that in English too. Uh, Not really the biggest chirper guy. So no, I didn't talk too much in the Gatineau game.
Herper guy. Is Brady the best chirper on the team. I've heard that he's very not good at it, but he also is very agitating.
I mean, he just heads off for him for trying the whole time. But I mean, yeah, we have a couple chirpers in our team. He's probably the most active. Gotten better, I think, the last couple of games too, with maybe not just saying something. But yeah, he's pretty vocal out there a couple of times.
What has like the excitement level to get to the playoffs been like for you guys? And like, have you paid attention to who you're going to play and stuff like that?
Uh Me personally, not too much. But obviously in the team we talked about that. And I think if I'm right, it's probably Oshawa. How
Right
it's
now, yeah.
looking right now. Oshawa, Kingston, but probably Oshawa. And I mean, I think especially since we clinched the league, there is maybe now looking at the franchise record. But besides that, there are not a lot of goals still in the regular season. So I think everybody's really excited to go for the real deal with the playoffs.
On that Kingston Oshawa front, I don't know if you know their schedule, but they play each other twice this
I know.
weekend. So there's going to be some great hockey there. Jordan, anything else from you? What else you got?
I'm good to go. Just straight to the O game, if
Yeah.
that's all you got.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Alrighty, guys. So like I said earlier, off air, you guys can actually work together on this question, and this is how it goes as follows. It's a bit of a long one, but it's not too bad, I think. So Vinny, you went on the 12-game point streak from October 23rd to November 21st earlier this year. I don't know if you remember that. And that currently ranks
from when? From when?
from October 23rd to November 21st, 12-game point streak.
Okay.
So your streak currently ranks you at 19th in the league for longest point streaks in this regular season so far.
I already know where you're going with this.
So name as many players as you can that are an 18th to the first spot that exceed your streak, Vinny. There's actually a couple players you're tied with. I'll give you one hint. There is one Ottawa player included among these 18 names. And you guys can work together on this.
I think Pav's on 14 games right now.
Who, sorry?
Pavel Mintyukov, but he's not at 16. Or wait, what was it? It was 12?
12.
So Pav's on 14, right?
I don't know. He is not. Not that I see. I'm going off the OHL website here.
One player that you're tied with. Oh, tied as in you mean also has 12.
Yeah, so this player also has 12 points.
Okay.
On Ottawa. Mintyukov has a 10-game point streak.
What do you think about Mo?
Who's sorry?
Think about Mo?
Morrison. Logan Morrison. He has to be, right?
Yes, Logan Morrison is on this list. He's actually first.
Okay.
At a 19-game point streak.
He's nuts though. That makes sense.
Wow. Okay. Is that still going on?
No, that's ended. That has ended. There's only 3 present ones on this list.
He has a new one though. I'm gonna throw Ty Voigt out there.
Yeah.
Ty Voigt is not included on this list.
Oh boy.
Just kind of shocking considering you just picked up 100 points, but
Nick Lourdes.
he is not on this list.
Panwar.
Panwar only does well against us, Vinny.
Yeah, sadly, he is not on this list either. Who's the Ottawa teammate? Come, you guys got to think. Who do you think the Ottawa player?
Wait, there's another Ottawa guy?
Yeah, he's
Oh
tied.
boy. It's not gonna be Boosh.
I'm really bad with those questions. I'm such a wash. Oh my god.
You even mentioned his name earlier in the show.
Is it Cam Tolnay?
Yes, it is.
For real?
He's
When
tied.
did that happen?
He had a 12-game point streak too. From let's see, October, pretty much the same time, October 14th to November 12th.
Uh-huh.
So that's it for Ottawa guys then.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Oh no.
There's one defenseman that's torn up the league since coming back from his NHL team.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark.
Yes, he
He's
is,
probably
yeah.
scored a point in every single game.
He has a 15 game point
He's
streak.
played 20 games. So the rest of them are forwards.
Matthew Maggio.
Yes. Want to know a fun fact? He has two. He's featured twice on this list. He had a
Killer.
13 game point streak and a 14 game point streak.
Colby Barlow.
He is not on this list.
Oh boy.
All right, what are like top scorers in our league?
Well, I can list a few team names
That's
for
terrible.
some of the teams. So there's a Sudbury player. Barry, besides Clark, actually has two more players featured on this list.
I would say Sudbury is David Goyette.
He is actually just below you. He had an 11 game point streak, but he wasn't above you guys.
Can't be Villeneuve, right? Is it Villeneuve?
No.
Okay.
Quentin Musty.
Yes, he's second. He had an 18 game point streak.
Okay. All right, then let's think.
Who
Other
more on Barry?
there is that Cardwell
Yeah. Wow. Okay, good job.
and other guy has like a Swedish name or something. Vierling.
Yes, he actually has his 14 game point streak still going.
Look, I was gonna say Vierling, and then I went, wait, is he still playing in the OHL? I couldn't remember.
Okay, other teams. North Bay. Does North Bay have someone?
No, yeah, they have one player, yes.
Petrov.
Petrov, yep, he was on this list. Yeah. They actually have
Vinny,
two
you were
players now.
nuts. What is
15
going
games.
on?
Wow, this is crazy. He's going off right now.
What else? What else good?
Does London have one?
Yes, they do.
Oliver Bonk for the memes.
No, it's not him, sadly. I'd be kind of shocked if he got this name.
Well, that doesn't help me at all. But wait, is it Logan Mallew?
No, it's not him.
Barkey?
Nope. I'll say Mississauga also has a player. I also am
James
in
Hardy.
the Toronto area. Yes, it's James Hardy. Not to come to a huge shock there.
Another one in the Toronto area?
No. I was just saying that I'm in the Toronto area,
Oh, okay.
just to familiarize me.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Who's it? It's a player from North Bay that we still have to solve for now.
London.
We got that already.
Yeah, there's one left. Currently.
And it's London.
North Bay.
London.
Someone on Sarnia too. There's someone on Sarnia who's high on this list.
Cairo.
No.
Del Mastro.
No.
No, Del Bel Belluz.
Present, actually. This is presently going too. He's on a 15 game point streak ongoing.
It's not void. It said no to Del Bel Belluz.
Nope, it's not him.
Is it that guy that is drafted by Nashville?
Well, keep guessing and I'll just double check because you might be right. I
Oh
just
my
want to
god.
double
It's
check.
Western Conference, man. I don't know the Western
He
Conference all that well.
has a B, I think is his first letter in the last name.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Burke. It's
Yeah,
Burke.
Nolan Burke. There you go.
Wow.
I'm pretty impressed. I did not expect you guys to get this many. So
Which team do we still got?
London.
London. I only played them once. George Diaco.
no, it's not him. His first letter of his last name begins with an M. The London player.
McCoy. No, not McCoy. McCown, or they have someone that is named like that.
Yeah, well, you are pretty correct. It's Sean McGurn. 12 game point streak.
Something like that, yeah.
Vinny, is this all film study that you know this from, or is this just like you have
He just knows.
you know everything?
I mean, I'm just guessing here.
And then there's just we'll narrow it down to the last two players here. They both played for Flint.
Oh, okay.
Featured on this list.
Lombardi.
Yeah, 13-game point streak earlier in the year.
I know anyone else from Flint. We played them really early in the year.
And this other player, it just ended on March 4th. He had a 13-game point streak.
Is he a forward?
Yes.
Will Cranley.
Nope.
That'd be something else.
Flint. Who did I make face-offs against? Lombardi.
That's a good way of thinking. Yeah, he is a center, I'll say that.
He's a center?
Yeah.
I would not know. Hayes?
Yes, Gavin Hayes.
Oh.
There you go, guys. Wow.
You have like no wrong guesses. You have like maybe
good
two wrong
teamwork.
guesses.
Good teamwork there, guys.
Teamwork.
We see why you guys are first.
Just knows everybody. Is that our only question today, Jordan?
Yeah, because I did take a decent while. I knew it was going to take a bit long. So thanks, guys, for participating in that. And appreciate you, Vinny, for coming on and just recounting your season a bit and what's next for you. And looking forward to your playoff run.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me here.
And overall, yeah. Any last thoughts, Frankie?
No, I mean, just for you guys, safe trip to Peterborough. I think you guys go tomorrow morning. Safe trip there, safe trip back. And, hopefully it's kind of just the beginning of stuff. It'd be great.
Yep. All right. Thanks a lot for having me here, guys.
Thanks so much, Vinny.
And we appreciate it. Have a good day, guys.